What up? This is Robert Horry.
Horry, three-pointer. Buries it.
You might know me as Big Shot Bob.
To Horry for three. Oh, unbelievable. This guy is off the charts.
What's going on, Big Shot Bob?
Robert Horry from downtown.
Let's call it episode 170 of the Big Shot Bob podcast. B-Dog Brandon Harper, I'm Rob Jenners. And the man with the new head coach is seven-time NBA champion, Robert Horry from downtown, dealing with leaks and workers and all kinds of fun bullshit at his house today. Dude, the show sheet today has got so much stuff on it, I don't even know where to start, but I feel like we have to start with the elephant in the room, if you will. JJ Redick, it's official, hired by the Lakers on I believe it's a 4-year deal. I didn't see any terms disclosed on that. I don't know if anybody else did, but
No, I didn't see any numbers.
I didn't either.
Oh, well, I did see something about he's going to get, I think it's 8 annually, so about $8 million. I don't know, so I guess,
Okay.
32 over the 4 years.
Sure. I think yesterday was JJ's birthday, if I'm not mistaken, too. So he has the press conference on his 40th birthday. We've talked about JJ a pretty fair amount, but I do want to get some thoughts, obviously, from the room about how they feel about this. I'm going to play you a piece of audio, too, from the press conference yesterday that I enjoyed the hell out of. But first reactions, obviously, we know he's got no experience. I mean, he even addressed that. He's like, I don't know if you guys have heard or not, but I've never coached at this level before.
He tried to make light of it.
Yeah, he tried to have fun with it. But, Rob, what do you think he's got to do right out of the gate to probably have a shot at making this successful?
He got to find the most successful assistant coach out there that LeBron and AD is going to respect, because we know how that rolls around. You saw it with Steve Nash in Brooklyn. If you don't have a good assistant coach that's respected, not one of your boys, not someone that played at fucking Duke, because we know Duke, all you do is win fucking college. You don't win in the fucking pros. So you need to have somebody with some fucking experience. I know they've been looking at, Sam Cassell. Sam's like, it's going to be like 7 figures for me to fucking leave Boston. And so he's just going to have to get some experience. If he doesn't get a good experience as coaching staff, we back where we are with Luke, with, every coach we've had, even the guy we just lost in Ham. So he got to get a successful staff.
How do you, and that's the thing, you're only, like you said, as successful as your coaching staff that you assemble and even the players that you have on your roster. That's the only other thing about the fact that he doesn't have any experience in just coaching in general, let alone head coaching experience, is how do you build that out? Like, who can you call to say, hey, I want this guy to be my lead assistant? Because you don't have, I know you have the player relationships. And I'm not saying that you haven't built any relationships with some coaches, but because you haven't been in the coaching ranks to build those relationships with those guys, how do you build out a staff knowing that, yeah, JJ was an okay player, we're respecting him as a player, but I don't know if I want to go be a part of his staff. How do you build that out when you're just literally, you haven't been a coach at all, let alone a head coach? You ain't been an assistant coach. How do you do that?
The thing about it, you got to be an assistant coach or a coach sitting at home right now, because you think about it. Like, if you're a person, you say, okay, I have a family. I'm going to go coach with the Lakers. This shit might not last 2 years on average. And do you want to uproot your family, bring them to L.A.? So you got to find someone who's based out of L.A., who doesn't have to, uproot their family, someone who doesn't have a family. I don't mean that in a negative way, but someone who's more flexible, where they can come and then they can coach. And if they get fired in 2 to 3 years, so be it. But it's going to be a difficult task for them, because you think about it, they know that you need me as a coach. My fucking price just fucking doubled. Or whatnot. So, you need an experienced assistant coach to coach with him, or a former. Well, I hear they're looking for 2 coaches that used to be head coaches. So the price just went up. They might have the most expensive staff.
You're kidding.
By the end of this, experience.
And here's the other thing too about it. If you're an assistant on JJ's staff, if you've got that much experience, you're a former head coach, or you were on the cusp of getting a head coaching job, I feel like, this is me, I feel like you take that gig knowing if this JJ thing don't work out, I just call him slide right into the head coaching side. You can give me the interim tag if you want for half a season, and then maybe I'm in the mix to get this Lakers job, you know? But you're right, though. True. But Harp's got a great point. Like, you don't have the relationships.
Yeah,
like, you don't have them.
And the thing about it is a lot of people, from what I'm hearing, JJ didn't rub them the right way. He's arrogant. He's been very cocky. He's been this player that thought he was better than what he was. And so, and I think, and a lot also, the coaching carousel is a brotherhood, and from when he said something about Doc, that kind of pissed a lot of people off too. So it's going to be interesting what he does.
You do enough time in the commentary world, you're going to piss some people off. You're going to say some stuff that might not necessarily be inflammatory, but might rub somebody the wrong way, and then you have to step into that universe. Yeah. And I don't know. That's tough. I'm gonna play a couple pieces of audio. Before I do that, I wanted to ask you this, because how would you as a player approach playing for a guy with no head coaching experience?
Me?
If this was you, you're on the Lakers, they hire JJ.
If this is me in my 5th or 6th season, and I'm like, dude, really? You didn't fucking win shit. You were overrated to me. And all of a sudden, I'm like, you gonna try, man, it's a free fall. They either have to trade me because I'm like running the fuck what I want to do. And think about it, LeBron ain't gonna listen to this motherfucker. LeBron older than you, dude.
But my thing is, does he not have a level of but does he not have a level of respect? We've seen him with the podcast, and we've seen the way that they go back and forth, and I understand that that's a small sample size. And that is a podcast, and it's different from you doing that together to now coaching LeBron. But to even have a podcast with a guy like JJ Redick, because LeBron could have had that with anybody. Why JJ Redick? So it has to be something about his basketball mind that LeBron respects, that he admires, that he likes about JJ, to have him in that capacity, and even now to have him as a head coach. And I don't believe that BS about they didn't talk about it. JJ was adamant about
all that, yeah.
Oh,
for sure.
There was a note attached to a pigeon of some sort that flew back and forth to their houses, even if they didn't speak. There were texts exchanged. Maybe not have been verbally.
They sent ravens like Game of Thrones.
I was about to say the same thing.
Like a raven
like the House
showed
of
up.
Dragons.
That is hard for me to believe, but like you said, we'll get there. But what I'm saying is, it's got to be something there, because you can't just do something like that with just anybody. And for him to now be your head coach, there has to be a level of respect for his basketball mind.
Man, here's the thing. It's like when you look at the control that LeBron has on what happens in the sports world, especially ESPN. Let's be honest. He has I don't know what he knows or who he knows is, but everything. You think about what the press he gets for his kids, the press he gets for himself. And JJ Redick was in that family, the ESPN family. Mm-hmm. And if you think about everybody he could have teamed with out of ESPN family, this was the only one that could have really, when they would really talk shop, that I got the black side, I got the white side, I got, all this covered. Mm-hmm. And I think for me, I don't look at it as a intellectual standpoint. I look at it more of a business standpoint when he did the podcast.
Okay.
Because JJ Redick was a hot commodity. He had a nice little following. He was becoming that new Stephen A, sort of say. So I figure, for me on the outside looking in, and I've been wrong maybe 10 times in my life, but I might be wrong on this. But I just said it was convenience and a way to make a little bit more money with JJ Redick. And as you get to know someone, like, oh, okay, he knows a little basketball. Because I guarantee you, he sit down and talk shop with anybody in there who ever played in the NBA who's won championships, who's been successful. He's gonna come out of that meeting or that talk saying, "Oh shit, he knows the fuck he's talking about."
Yeah.
And I think with JJ Redick, JJ Redick can talk X's and O's and all that kind of stuff, but I don't give a shit about X's and O's. It's about how you can manage personalities, because at the end of the day, if you got a talented team, you're gonna win. But it's how you manage, mentally that talent, how you get them to be engaged, and that was a great thing about Phil and Pop and Rudy. They were able to get you mentally, not physically, because the physical part is all on the player. It's the mental aspect. Will JJ be able to handle that?
Right.
Yeah. All right, let me get to the audio real quick. This was the first question that came out that Obviously, I feel like everybody's seen by now, but I wanted to play it because it just gave us a new soundbite for the show.
What misconceptions or concerns about you that you've heard in the last few weeks are you the most looking forward to dispelling?
It's a valid question, and I've certainly heard everything. It's been a really interesting 6 weeks or so, just in terms of being part of the engagement farming industry. It's been really interesting. However, I don't really have a great answer for your question because I really don't give a fuck. Honestly, I want to coach the Lakers. I want to coach the team. I don't want to dispel anything. I don't. I want to become a great coach in the NBA, and I want to win championships, and I want my players to maximize their careers. That's all I fucking care about.
Oh, again, too. I mean, look, we are all liberal with our language. When you're at your announcement press conference, though, don't you pump the brakes on that a little bit? Be careful with the language you throw around, or is that for him maybe just a little bit more of a relatable thing for the players to hear their coach dropping F-bombs?
No, it ain't got nothing to do with the players.
Okay.
I don't care what comes out of your mouth. It's about how you manage. If let's say Austin Reeves. I don't care what you say about your mouth. When AD and LeBron are fucking up, how do you handle that? That's what I'm looking at.
Okay.
Because nobody on the team, if you fucking up, gets a pass. You might get 1 strike, 2 strike, but 3rd strike when you keep doing the same thing, how you going to manage that? And I don't care. You can drop all the word F-bombs. You can praise every Lord, saint, God, whatever you want to. It's about how you handle this locker room and how you manage the superstars when they're dropping the F-bomb fucking up.
Yeah. I don't know why that threw me. It just threw me as look, I mean, we're all liberal with our language, but I was like, hey, you're in front of the whole world, man. Pump the brakes on that. But we did get this now.
I really don't give a fuck.
And so we now have that to use throughout the show's propensity for that, and we'll just pair that with Mike Malone.
I don't give a shit.
And we have that. We have
I like Mike Malone's better.
I know, too. Mike Malone is just such a sour, I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
And then I wanted to play this other piece of audio. This may be the first time in all my years doing sports that I've brought a piece of audio from Craig Carton to the show. Craig Carton for WFAN in New York. He went to jail. I mean, he was a lightning rod. He used to do a show with Boomer up in New York. He ended up going to prison for 3.5 years. Now he's back on the air. But
he was in prison for what?
Some kind of fraud and ticket to fraud and stuff. He defrauded a bunch of people out of a lot of money. But they got him back on the air in New York, and they threw this
at him. Only in New York.
Only in New York, baby. But this is what Craig had to say, and I want to hear your thought on it.
So, Craig, how do you feel about this hire? What do you think about the leap from 4th grade boys head coach to Lakers head coach?
Well, it just shows you if you kiss the right ass, you can accomplish anything in life, and that's all this is JJ Redick got in bed with LeBron James, and LeBron James promised him the opportunity to be the head coach of the Lakers. I mean, period, stop. Because there's no other qualification he's got to become the head coach of a storied franchise in the history of the league, and this hire is beneath the Lakers. It shows you that Jerry Buss is probably rolling over in his grave right now, and the Lakers are a long, long way away from their heydays.
So that just sort of leads us into the conversation that we half started a minute ago.
Yeah.
If JJ Redick isn't doing this podcast with LeBron James, does he even get this opportunity? Is there even a look in his direction for this?
I think so. I think, there was always a little love for him because you think about how Mark Jackson got his job. He was in the booth talking sports, and next thing you know, he has a job. So I think even though he was there a little bit longer than JJ, I think a lot of people, and it's just weird because a lot of people, once JJ got out the league, he went straight into ESPN. He started talking X's and O's. So people had found new respect for him. And I think that was the thing that kind of, caught everybody's eye, the way he was able to articulate himself on ESPN, the way he was able to talk about the game. So he kind of, caught the eye of people, and everybody's like, oh, shit, he might be a good coach.
Yeah, because that ESPN platform ain't small.
Yeah.
So
no.
and now, granted, him being able to do the podcast with LeBron obviously expedited things.
It vaulted him to the front of the line.
Because now you're actually he's getting to sit one-on-one with the face of the league and the future team that he's about to coach to explain a lot of stuff. So it was literally an audition without it actually being an audition. But no, ESPN kind of helped him get that job too, because he was able to show, you know, his basketball acumen and his mental and how he works and how he thinks, you know, around the game of basketball. So it's not all the LeBron podcast, but it definitely helped him vault into a new stratosphere to where the Lakers will really put a magnifying glass over him outside of Dan Hurley. Because if Dan Hurley would have agreed, we wouldn't be having this conversation.
Yeah.
But nah, I think he got helped on multiple fronts.
And if the, you know, I have to look this up. I'm not sure. So didn't they when Tim Legler first started doing this? Didn't they like a lot of people saw, oh, he needs to be a coach? So I talked about him in the same aspect, and I don't think he wanted to do it.
Right.
So I think it's like once you're able to get on that ESPN platform and talk X's and O's, you're gonna move on to the next level.
Okay. Do you think him and LeBron talked about this job?
Hell yeah.
He swears that they never did, and I feel like that's hard to really even be the case.
Hold on, wait. You got to kind of let's take a step back. Like I said a few minutes ago, they may not have verbally talked, but we do have this thing called text messaging, and I'm pretty sure in the midst of how text, you know, when you communicate about podcast stuff, I'm pretty sure there were texts exchanged about the possibility, you know, about him becoming the head coach of the Lakers. I don't believe that there was nothing said at all. I'm not that naive. If you'd have caught me 10, 15 years ago, sure, I may have believed this. But I don't believe me now. No, I don't believe that nothing had been said.
Nothing at all. Mm-hmm.
Other coaches hired with no head coaching experience in the NBA. Steve Nash in Brooklyn in 2020, that lasted 2 seasons. Derek Fisher with the New York Knicks in 2014. That was about a season and a half. Jason Kidd in Brooklyn in 2013 did not work out, but Jason Kidd evolved into a successful NBA coach. Mark Jackson, you brought up in Golden State. He was there for 3 seasons. Doc Rivers started in Orlando, 1999. No coaching experience prior. Did 5 seasons with the Magic. Obviously continues to ride that 2008 championship to every future job. And Magic Johnson with the Los Angeles Lakers in 1994 lasted 16 games. It's and there's many others down the line that have gotten these opportunities, but aside from maybe Doc and maybe Mark Jackson, none of them have really, you know, exploded out of the gate to be, you know, next level stars.
And Mark Jackson, think about it, he'd have lasted one more season. One more. He wins the championship.
People give him a lot of credit, though, for laying the groundwork for what came.
Oh, he deserves majority of the credit.
Yeah.
He's the one that said they would be the greatest shooting backcourt of all time. And what do we consider them today?
Oh, hardcore. I mean, in the conversation at least, you know. So, all right, well.
But I do got to ask Rob, though.
Oh, go ahead. Before we move on.
Why is your boy not getting any love? Why Sam Cassell not getting no love?
I have no clue, and I think when you look, I remember he interviewed for the Rockets job when I thought he would get that job, and they hired Silas, and I was like, what? You know, I don't know, man. I think it boils down to, you know, he's been bopping around a lot, and he's been on a lot of different teams, and I think sometimes they like, oh, you know, I don't know, man. I really can't say. Yeah. So.
Because they put up you know how Instagram will do. Yeah, once JJ, you saw they put up the side by side and just the experience of Sam Cassell versus the complete lack of experience with JJ, and I'm like, you know, hey, I just wanted to ask. That's all.
Are you surprised that the Lakers didn't reach out to Monty after that whole thing went down? Because we were jokingly texting about that. You know,
I think they will reach out to Monty, but just as an assistant coach.
Okay.
I don't think they wanted to put him in the head coaching role. I just felt like it was a time for them to move on to like something new and fresh, because they've tried all these coaches who had
these
jobs
retreads
before.
And
yeah.
Okay. Were you surprised by the Monty news? Because I was a little thrown by it.
Especially when he had just had a meeting with Trajan Langdon. Yeah, I want to stay here. And the owner comes in like, no, dog, you go.
Done.
Like, what?
Detroit dismissed him with 5 years left on his deal. He lasted one season. He was 14-68. A horrible, horrible season. 1 year after he inked the 6-year, $78.5 million deal to become the Pistons head coach. Here's your timeline on Monty Williams. I love this. May of 2003, fired by the Suns, $20 million buyout. June of 2023, hired by the Pistons, signs the deal, 6 years, $78.5 million. And then June of 24, fired by the Pistons, $65 million buyout. So he's getting paid $85 million to not coach two teams.
I'll be Monty Williams any day.
I will happily take it.
And so with that, is it a monthly type of pay, or they just cut you off like a big check and you go about your way?
Dude.
From what I hear with the Monty deal, it's stretched out over 10 years. I think it's because it's going to be like something like that. It might be 5 years, $10 million a year. I think it is. I think they
it's like a
stretched it out.
prorated type of deal.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. They stretched his out.
But I'm fine with that.
I'm fine with that too.
Dude, I'll stay home. You want to throw me $10 million a year for the next 10?
But you know the thing. I don't know the technical terms, but I think with Monty though, if he, like in Darvin Ham's case, and he goes and coach with Milwaukee, whatever he makes for Milwaukee is taken out of what the Lakers owe him. But if Monty comes back and coaches, it doesn't work that way. He still gets his money from Detroit and whatever
he gets paid.
Wow.
Whatever he gets paid. Yeah. So he actually does coach. He gonna be getting paid. He'd be the highest paid assistant.
I was just about to say. No, he's actually. Well, I'm assuming that the Suns have they paid him off already? Have they cleaned that?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay, because if not, I was about to say that he'd be triple dipping.
Yeah.
Mm.
All
right.
Yeah.
Well, good. I mean, look,
But here's the thing, though. Go ahead. Never mind.
No. Go ahead. Jump.
No, because I was going to talk. We were talking about all the assistant coaches, and we on the show sheet we got Kenny Atkinson next. But you think about who would you rather work for, Kenny with the Cavs or JJ Redick with the Lakers? If you're an assistant coach and you're available.
From a tax standpoint, the Cavaliers.
That's what I'm doing. I'm doing like, what do you want to?
From a wages and living standpoint, give me the Cavs, because I don't think Ohio has any state tax.
Okay. God, you guys are big on the no state tax.
Compared to California?
Oh no, I'm with you on that. Yeah,
we're gonna be living under the 405.
I ain't paying no 13%.
Hey, why is this man living in the box? What do you do? Oh, I'm just an assistant coach for the LA Lakers.
Coach of the Lakers.
I can't afford anything around.
I live in a Kenmore refrigerator box. Under the 5.
I make $2 million a year and I'm broke.
Under the 5. You know what? I mean, I feel like whoever assistant coaches with the Lakers will be able to slide into that gig if they want to scapegoat JJ. Like if they decide that this isn't going well and LeBron wants to hang it up and you're a season and a half in and you feel like you need to make a move because this ain't working, I feel like that's just going to be a natural, well, we're already paying the assistant $7 million a year, so he's going to slide right in, take over that head coaching gig. So I feel like that job is sort of like the... If
like
they
what he
need a
doing in Milwaukee?
Yeah, exactly right. Exactly right.
Hey, so that might be the next hire. Might be Monty. All right, Monty. Slide on in there and move JJ.
Hang in, just kind of chill out, offer some advice.
I'm really, really interested to see how he builds this thing out. That's the thing. We always talk about players and free agency, which is cool, but how he builds out that coaching staff. Because Rondo's name came up from a player standpoint.
Yeah.
About him possibly being an assistant coach. And obviously Rondo played with LeBron. I believe, they played together, didn't they?
Hey, let me just say this.
I don't remember.
If I'm JJ, there's no way in the hell I'm hiring Rondo for 2 reasons. I've seen Rondo, how he is mentally on the sideline, how he gets into altercations. And JJ, knowing myself, I'm an asshole too. I ain't hiring another asshole because we might get into a fist fight about some shit. So that's just not a hire that I'm doing. No, there's no disrespect to Rondo because I think he's a brilliant mind. But if I'm JJ, I'm not hiring someone that I know aspires to be a head coach and might, just like you just said, slide on in there.
Him and LeBron, Rondo and LeBron, did they play together at all?
When
Yeah.
Rondo was
Yeah,
with the
in
Lakers
Yeah,
for that brief stint.
Yeah, for that brief
I didn't know if
stint. That's what I
LeBron
thought
was
so.
there yet.
Yeah, because LeBron's going into his, seventh season with the Lakers?
Has he been there for 7 seasons?
He's been there, yeah.
Yeah.
Holy shit, that doesn't feel like it.
But the man been in the league, he going into his 21st year.
Yeah, I know. It's just wow.
Split up with 3 teams.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, Cleveland, Miami, back to Cleveland and
LA.
LA. All right, well. Well, you mentioned it. The Cavs are hiring Kenny Atkinson. I just thought it was strange that they fired Bickerstaff like a month ago.
I don't understand that fire.
And then I don't understand the firing. 1, 2, they sat on it for a month. Gotta be. They sat on it for a month. Now they're close to that deal with Spider, by the way. They're close to securing the extension per a lot of reports. And James Borrego was in the mix for that job, too. And overlooked. So there's a lot of teams. You might be onto something here, Rob. There's a lot of teams that are overlooking James Borrego for a head coaching job. They're just...
I just think with James Borrego, he lucked into that Charlotte job because we know Mitch Kupchak ain't the smartest fucker that ever been in a front office, and so he slid into that job. And because it's the pop toolage. Anybody that's on the pop, it's for some reason they're like, oh shit, he taught on the pop. No, this motherfucker was in the film room with Pop.
Yeah.
It's a difference, and I think James Borrego has a great basketball mind, but I just don't think he has a personality to be a head coach.
Okay.
You have to be a little bit of an asshole to be a head coach, and I don't think he has enough asshole in him to be a head coach.
Okay, interesting. Well, there looks like they're trying to sign Spider to keep him around, so
Yeah.
you may see Darius Garland on the block.
Dang, that's
Hey,
crazy.
if I'm Garland, I've said I want out to trade me to the Spurs.
Give me out. Give me out.
Yeah.
Scottie Barnes signed his extension. The face of the league, Scottie Barnes.
We love Scottie Barnes.
5 years, $270 million. $54 million a season, making him the highest paid player in Toronto's Raptors history.
That ain't saying much.
I know.
Because Kawhi was the last
Kawhi
one
was
at like
the-
20-some-odd million.
Yeah, but I mean, that's quite a jump, man.
Yeah.
50
That is a
but
huge jump.
They must love them some Scottie Barnes up in Toronto, man, because that is a
He's
deal.
the face.
They don't have a choice.
Yeah.
I guess so.
And poor Toronto, it says you're gonna have to do something because the only time someone, from what I'm hearing, nobody wants to go to play in Toronto. It's just not a good place to go play because you got to deal with flying back in.
Don't you have to pay like international taxes and stuff?
You got to pay.
and-
They have an exemption up there. They don't have to pay because that was a problem that they were having with the league in Canada. Like, oh, we're gonna be in this league, and it was some I don't know all the.
It was like double
tax
taxes
stuff.
or something. Wasn't it? Like you got to
so
pay
they would
U.S.
get-
tax and you got to pay
Yeah.
Canadian tax.
Yeah, so they worked it out. So
All right. That's a huge deal for Scottie Barnes, though.
yeah.
God bless him. Worth it? You think? Besides them not having any real choices, you think he's worth that kind of money?
Good
player.
He's a great player, but I'm not giving him the max because he's not an elite scorer. Just like Brandon Ingram. I love Brandon Ingram, but you can't give them the max because you got to think about you got to put pieces with them. If you give them the max, you can't put pieces with them because they're not the upper echelon of players where they can like carry a team by themselves.
Right.
They can do it for 2 or 3 games, but they can't do it for 82 games.
Yeah. And look, I'll say this. Toronto needs something good to happen because the way Kendrick Lamar been knocking Drake upside his head for the last 2 months, that city been going
They've been
through
taking
it.
some L's,
So
man.
they need this. This is a little bit of sunshine in the midst of the rainstorm.
Yeah.
Hey,
taking some L's.
man, I'm so mad at myself. I totally forgot that Kendrick was doing.
I wish I would have been there
man,
before.
I would've
I
go to
wish
that-
I would have.
Dude, that was wild. Holy
But Amazon
cow.
Prime, they held me down though.
Yeah,
I
that
watched
was-
it on
that
Amazon.
little pop-up-
It was streaming on
pop-up
Amazon
show?
Prime.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know this.
Yeah. The Prime streamed it, boy, and it looked good too.
Yeah, it did. It looked professionally done. It
Yes.
didn't look like it
I
was
got-
thrown together. It was. Yeah, they did a good job.
Oh, I wish
Hey,
I was in the forum.
I wish I was in the forum too. I'm like, damn it. I totally forgot about it because Christian was like, Dad, can we go? I'm like, he's like, it'd be my graduation present. No, dude, look on your arm. That tattoo was your graduation
Oh,
present.
that sucks.
But we totally forgot about it. We were so busy trying to get him ready for college, so we forgot about it.
A couple more moves last week. We had a late week drop. Caruso to the Thunder for Josh Giddey to Chicago. I like that move a lot for OKC, man.
OKC, yes.
Yeah, it's
you
a
need
big
that
win for OKC, I think. They got him for practically nothing.
Because
No
stuck
picks,
it up.
no nothing, man. Holy shit.
What the hell is this? One of those rebuild things that the Chicago's trying to do or something? Because you don't get rid of your backbone defensively up there, and for Giddey.
Yeah, but they selling. They're sellers.
Yeah, they gotta be.
They're sellers. They're trying to get it from under Zach LaVine.
Whoa. They're trying to move him desperately.
They're trying to get him from under him.
What's funny about the Zach LaVine stories, I hear all the stuff online. So, there's a hot trade market for Zach LaVine, yet he has not gone anywhere, and no one has shown any interest.
Because don't nobody want to pick up that. He's $45 million.
He's expensive. Yeah, he's a paycheck, man.
And he's hurt.
He's expensive, and he hurt, and he don't play no defense.
Yeah, none.
But let me tell you, man, when he's healthy, I love his athleticism.
When he's healthy,
I love his athleticism.
Sure.
Jeez.
But, I mean, God, how many times guys we talk about in the league like that? When they're healthy.
Yeah. When they're healthy, he can give you some numbers, boy.
Also, OG declined his offer in New York. Turned down his, he's declined his almost $20 million option.
He can get more than his agent told him he can
get
more than that.
Yeah, he's going to go free.
Yeah.
Then he's going to make the Knicks cough up some more money.
I was going to say the Knicks got to pay him to keep him. I think they should keep him, man. He was a big piece of what they did this
Yeah,
year.
that's when Toronto got rid of him. I'm like, what the are y'all doing?
Yeah, New York needs to make a move to try and keep him. Need to try and keep him. Draft is Wednesday. I don't really think anybody knows what's happening with the draft. It's like a different story every day. The Hawks are wavering. I've heard Rashay, I've heard Klingon, I've heard all. I mean, like, God, they don't even know what they're doing.
And they haven't even worked out Sarr.
No.
The Hawks, and there's a lot of noise talking about how his agent doesn't want Sarr to go to Atlanta. Some people think if Atlanta takes him, he wants to force himself to go other places. He said he'd rather be a Wizard. I said,
I've heard that.
If somebody ever told you,
I'd rather be a Washington Wizard.
I'd rather be a Washington Wizard. I don't know if it's an indictment on the player or it's an indictment on you as an organization. Because ain't no way in hell anybody should ever say they would rather be a Washington Wizard than an Atlanta Hawk. I'm sorry.
Yeah, here we are.
Here we are.
I did want to play you this because I thought this was actually pretty damn funny. So the universal consensus at this point with the draft is that the Lakers are pretty hard entrenched on Bronny at 55.
No.
This is the universal consensus. However, Bill Simmons threw this out, and I actually thought this was pretty freaking smart.
This is my dream. The Celtics have the 30th draft pick.
Take Bronny.
Yeah. So here's my case, Rob. Everyone says this draft sucks. Anyone in this draft isn't going to play for them. It'll probably be a stash guy. They're going to have to carry the salary. Why not take Bronny and you basically hold him hostage? Because all these other teams want him, right?
Toxic at all? Yeah.
No. I'm saying like for the asset. Oh, the Lakers, you want him? Well, we took Bronny. Give us Max Christie. How bad do you want him?
Yeah.
I would say Bronny, the asset at 30 as a trade thing, is worth more than anyone they could get there.
That's actually not bad. That's pretty freaking smart considering what we just talked about, the lack of talent and just that no one knows what they're doing in this draft. So why not try and bait the Lakers a little bit? Draft him and force a trade.
Hey, let's be honest. You don't draft him that high. You draft him at 54.
I guess that's true. Pick right in front of him. Yeah,
right in front of him.
Yeah.
And for me, like it's kind of cool to do that, but
Oh, that's a toxic Boston take, by the way, right there, man. Yeah.
But that'd be funny as hell. Like, you stuck it, your little, we just beat you by one, and then we took your star player's son.
Yeah, then we took his son. We got your kid. Dude, that would at least make the draft something worth talking about, aside from a one day of breakdowns of players that nobody's familiar with.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I thought that was interesting. A couple more stories, then we'll do Big Shot, and I got a game called First Timers for you guys. The Rockets want Kevin Durant from ESPN. The Rockets are clearly in win now mode. Are they really? And they would like to add star power to their roster. Players such as Kevin Durant, Jimmy Butler, Mikal Bridges, and Brandon Ingram are on their radar, as well as players like Brook Lopez and Marcus Smart from other teams. The Rockets could have interest in targeting. The Rockets are in win now mode, are they?
No, I wouldn't.
Let me just say this. Knowing Tillman, he likes to be successful in everything he does. Of course, Tillman wants to win now. He wants to get what he can now and be successful so you can bring that star power to H-Town. Because you think about it, H-Town ain't got no star power. For a fan base, it's pretty damn good. For a place with no state tax, really, really great owner, and you got a bunch of, no-name players outside of the villain, and the overpaid guy.
The villain, what are you talking about, Van Vliet?
No, Dylan Brooks.
And freaking Brooks.
Dylan Brooks.
You're overpaid as Van Vliet. Yeah.
Dylan the villain.
Dylan the villain.
Jesus, that man he's annoying. He's worse than Pat Bev because at least Pat Bev earns whatever nickname you give him. Like Dylan Brooks he desperately wants to be something. So he gives himself the title and trying to play a role. But ain't nobody fazed by you, dog. That's nothing worse, trying to be something and then no one feels the effects of what you're trying to be. That's got to be bad.
When you give yourself your own nickname.
Yeah. I'm
problematic.
Whatever you let's say you call yourself the enforcer. You ain't enforced nothing.
Yeah. Enforced a few L's. That's about the best you got. Got tossed a lot. The Rockets and Kevin Durant, I don't know if I see that combination working.
I don't see it working.
That man ain't leaving Phoenix.
I think because they would have to pay. They would have to eat a bunch of salary on him, right? Don't even have like a year or two left in Phoenix.
Yeah, but here's the thing about it: if you pair somebody with Seguin, how you pronounce his name?
Yeah, Seguin, I think.
He's gonna be nice, and you got Van Vliet, and you got Dylan. You pair, and I know you got Jalen.
Yeah, Jalen.
But you get a guy that can like stabilize that team, and you never know. It might, because they're gonna be good again. But they're not going to be playoff good.
I mean, what about what's my boy name that's from here? He's from Atlanta. The other young kid on that team, Jabari
Smith?
Yeah.
He's a talent. But I like him better than everybody outside of Seguin on that team. Because I think, he plays team basketball. The other guys are kind of like, kind of erratic. Jalen's good. But he just plays so erratic and
young.
Yeah,
very undisciplined.
He got a lot of talent.
A lot of talent.
And to win in this league, you got to be disciplined.
Yeah. He he had that stretch last year where, like we always say, he had that I'm gonna be a pops stretch. Where I got to earn I'm bringing a baby into this world.
Playing for a bag, man. All right, let's do Big Shot of the Week, and then I got a game.
Hey, I also heard they're trying to get Paul George, so I forgot about that.
I've heard that too. But I've heard Paul George's name mentioned, I think, aside every freaking team in the NBA this offseason.
Something tells me with the Clippers moving into the Intuit Dome, they're going to do it. They're going to find a way to do what they need to do to keep Paul George.
I'm concerned by the fact they haven't done it yet.
You're right. But I think it'd be a big mistake to let him walk.
But you've let it come this far. Like, if you wanted to keep him, if you had the intention of paying him what he wants, do it. Yep. Because you've gotten now to a point where
you can do it.
You can lose him like that. So why would you even let it get that far?
And you already got to pencil in Kawhi gonna miss 20 games. So I mean,
easy. 20 is a liberal. Shit, 25-30 without question.
So
yeah, I don't know. And you got seats to sell. All right, let's do Big Shot of the Week, and then we're going to play our games called First.
So get this.
Oh, sorry, I was just kidding. What's up?
So, in Intuit Arena, they did a cool thing, but they did all the high school jerseys and everything. Mm-hmm. So we was walking through and looking at it on virtually, and I'm like, all of a sudden, Harvard Westlake 15. I'm like, yay, Christian!
Oh, his jersey's up there.
Yeah, no way.
So it's Christian. Yeah, so they use Christian's jersey. So I'm like, okay, cool. So
that's nice. It's in the wrong building, but that's nice.
Y'all a few blocks away. All right. But I don't know what you're doing. How far is that from where Staples is? Is it?
It's about 15, 20 minutes, depending on traffic. It's not that far.
That's not that bad. All right, let's do Big Shot, and then we got our game. Big Shot of the Week can go to a woman named Karen Swenson. She's a New Orleans news anchor.
Nolans.
She was doing some live reports, and she was stunned to find that there was a 90-year-old man named Dylan McCormick pushing shopping carts at a Metairie store parking lot. He was a former Air Force member. He served in Colorado, Greenland, and he told Swenson he needed about $2,500 a month to make ends meet, and he only got half of that from his Social Security. So she went online and she put his story out like a good news reporter would do. She started a GoFundMe. She wanted to try and raise $35,000 for him to retire, and in 24 hours, she raised $233,000.
Wow!
In a day. So
That's dope.
this beautiful man now gets to retire at 90 and call it a career, and he doesn't have to push shopping carts in the parking lot anymore because he gets retired. But you had $233,000.
Man, that's awesome.
That's freaking cool, man. I love that.
Because you think about how many times we pass older people and don't ask their story or care to know their story. And for her to ask his story and him tell her, big ups on her.
Well, and
her
she,
side for even inquiring.
To her credit, when she was working on the story, when she found him, she started asking like people that were regulars, like, do you see him out here a lot? And there's guys that came up there and said, oh, we will put our groceries in our car and then go back and help him push carts. Because he's out here pushing freaking grocery carts at 90 years old. Yeah. So we'll help him for half an hour. Just help him get his job done. And he's very thankful. He's extremely polite. He doesn't ask for anything. So she threw it out there. $233,000 for that man.
That's amazing.
That's freaking awesome. All right. With JJ Redick being the first time head coach of the Lakers, I just put together a little game here called First Timers. So I'm going to quiz you guys about stuff that is the first time things have happened. Let's see what you know. We'll start with Rob, and we'll just go back and forth. Let's see how we do. Robert Horry. In 1990, Art Shell became the first African-American coach in the NFL. As the head coach of what team?
Die Raiders.
And that is correct. He was the head coach.
Hey, the only reason I know that because I'm a Raider fan.
Oh, yeah. What am I doing? I'm throwing you a Raiders question? All right, game's canceled. No. All right. Harper. In 1985, he became the first #1 overall draft pick in the NBA draft lottery era.
85.
First time in the NBA draft lottery era. Not without its controversy, I will add.
God, hey, what's his fucking name?
I'm trying
to... you know his name.
I can't think of his fucking name right now. Oh, shit.
85? I can't.
What's his
remember.
fucking name?
I think you guys are digging through a bank that you don't need to dig through.
Well, that's how it always happens. 85. We know what went on in 84. I can't think of his. I don't remember.
Any guesses, Rob?
It was the guy from Duke, right? Oh, that's Dream's draft. That's Dream.
Yeah.
That's Dream.
Oh.
That's Dream. That's Dream. My bad.
Incorrect. The cold envelope. The notorious cold envelope. The first NBA draft
Patrick
lottery in
Ewing.
1985 was Patrick Ewing.
Patrick Ewing.
First, which I didn't even realize, too, when I was doing the homework. I was like, shit, he was the first one ever in the NBA draft lottery. In the draft lottery era. When you got to pull the pit.
So,
it was...
so who was 84? Dream was 84, right?
Dream was 84 with Mike and
Jordan.
Barkley.
Yep.
You know, what was the guy that broke his leg in Portland I was trying to think of?
Sam Bowie?
Sam Bowie. That's what I was thinking.
He got taken before Jordan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Rob.
Mm-hmm.
In 1953, Sir Edmund Hillary was the first man to climb what mountain?
Mount Fiji.
Harper?
Everest.
Yes, he was the first man to summit Everest.
Yeah, because Everest be taking folks' life left and right.
Oh my God.
That's 29,000 feet in the air above sea level.
I saw a meme that was like, every dead body on Mount Everest was someone with a dream, so maybe slow down. So maybe just take your time. All right, Harper, 2019. What New York Yankees reliever became the first player unanimously voted into the Baseball Hall of Fame?
Mariano Rivera.
That is absolutely correct.
Should have been King.
What was his nickname? Was it Sandman? I think that was his nickname or something like that.
I don't know if he had a nickname.
I think so, if I'm not mistaken.
I'll have to look that up. I'm not sure. All right, Rob. In 1967, the Green Bay Packers won the very first Super Bowl. Who was the losing team?
Why can't you ask me who the damn quarterback was?
Because that's the shit that people know. Of course, I got to give you something that's going to make
Detroit.
No.
Harp, do you know who lost the first Super Bowl to the Packers?
It wasn't the Patriots, was it?
No. It was not the Patriots.
I'm sorry.
Okay. It was the team that won the Super Bowl this year. The Kansas City Chiefs.
Really?
Yes. We're the first team to lose the Super Bowl. How about that? All right, Harper. In 1981, Sandra Day O'Connor became the first female appointed to what office?
Sandra Day. Oh. I know this.
It's in there.
First
That little man is digging through files in there. I can see it, man. His fingers are flying. He's like, shit, I know this. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it?
So what? It's not Supreme Court Justice.
It sure is.
Oh,
yes,
wow.
it
That's
is.
what I
The Supreme
thought.
Court
Okay.
Justice.
That's
Yeah.
I'm like,
It was
that's
the first
like
female in the Supreme Court. Yeah, first
Yeah.
female in the Supreme Court. All right, Rob. In 1920, Babe Ruth became the first baseball player to accomplish what feat?
Shit, that could be anything.
No, with Babe is something specific.
He
what
broke
was
the
Babe
home run
Ruth?
record.
I was going to say, what was Babe Ruth most well known for? He didn't break the home run record.
He set the home run record. Oh no.
Well, it was a season, 1920.
Most home runs in the season.
You're sort of there, but not really. Harp, do you have any clarification on this or no?
I was gonna go with because he was a pitcher.
He was.
I was gonna go with a strikeout and a home run in the same game.
First player to hit 50 home runs in a season.
Okay.
Never happened before. Babe Ruth did it in 1920.
But he was a pitcher though.
Harp, if you don't get this one, I'm walking out. In 1969, Neil Armstrong became the first man to do what?
Apparently, walk on the moon.
If you won't believe the conspiracies.
But we know some people. Me and Jenners know one person specifically for years who denies that ever happened because
Never happened.
you can't see the flag moving. If they were on the moon, why isn't the flag moving?
Yeah, because
But
they
we'll
were in
leave it
zero
alone.
gravity besides that. You know
Right.
what I mean? Yeah. So, yeah. Do you believe the conspiracy theory, Rob, that we never went to the moon?
No, I don't believe it.
You don't believe it? You think we went?
I think we went to the moon.
I think so too.
I think we did too. I just don't know if it was that time.
Where did they go when they shot the damn rocket? Or they just went around to the other side? And
Took a
landed in the
little
ocean
walk
somewhere?
around the block, came back. Yeah, no, we're good. All right, Rob. In 1979, Margaret Thatcher became the first female prime minister of what country?
Isn't that London?
Well, yeah, I'll give it to
England?
you. Yeah,
London,
England.
England?
Yeah, England. Yeah, UK.
London?
Yeah, first female prime minister of the UK. All right, a couple more real quick. Harp, in 1919. Oh, we're going way back, way back. Sir Barton became the first horse to accomplish what racing feat?
Triple Crown?
The Triple Crown. Sir Barton was the first Triple Crown.
That's the only thing when it comes to horse racing.
I was gonna say, I was like,
That's it.
I don't know, win the Kentucky Derby, maybe? I don't know. All right, Rob. In 1903, we are going way back. Orville and Wilbur Wright were the first
I
men
know
to
this
achieve powered flight off the coast of what state?
I think I know this one.
In Connecticut?
No, it's not Connecticut.
It's North Carolina.
It is North Carolina. Good job. Yeah, that's right. If you ever see a North Carolina first in flight on their license
Yeah, it's
plate,
North Carolina.
first in flight. All right, last one. Harper. Ernie Davis wore number 44 at Syracuse University in 1961. He became the first African-American athlete to win what?
Heisman Trophy.
The Heisman Trophy.
What? It's like, why did he get all the easy ones?
I don't know. I just spread out the random questions, man. Plus, my assumption was you were smart.
got
but
one easy question.
But the thing is, there were some hard ones that you didn't know that I did.
Yeah. How do you feel about the game, JJ?
I really don't give a fuck.
Okay, you don't even care. I don't even care.